A bit about your journey. A lot of people may know it already. For those who don't, a quick summary of how you came to this point right now.
My father was a truck driver working hard. And my mom she used to clean houses. A very hard life, never had any money. Always thrifted clothes, never had anything.
At 16, you started working at KFC. And how the hell did you go from that to where you are now? Why do you have this innate desire to earn money? How did you get into all these different businesses? What's your net worth now? Do you want to reveal it? Do you want to be a billionaire?
I will, but I don't care. I don't care to be one.
I know a lot of people have made great money from dropshipping. Why did you keep going until you found? What is the story and the feeling when you made your first $1 million?
I had an ACH payment go into my bank account for $1 million.
H3, you just finished the podcast with him. That podcast got 1 million views. The comments going crazy. You're going viral right now. Why haven't you given any response? At this moment right now, are you happy, would you say? Top 5 side hustles for anyone watching this video who wants to get rich.
Well, I have to say, because it's such a great one.
Great. What do you think about Andrew Tate?
Andrew has some qualities that I like, and there are some things about him that I don't like as well.
All right. Mic test. 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. Have you seen that video?
No.
There's a video where Warren Buffett, they told him to test the mic. So he's like, okay, 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. Such a Warren Buffett thing to do. What a guy.
That's funny.
He's the GOAT trying to clear the pressure. All right, guys. Flew all the way in from Dubai. 17 hours. The world's longest flight, I think. Legit, like the longest one-way flight. For this podcast with Sebastian Ghiroghiu.
There you go.
Ghiroghiu.
Yeah, very good.
Ghiroghiu.
Very good.
Yeah, sick. What a name, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, where's it from? Romania?
Romania.
Nice. All right, so came all the way here. I had to do this video. I heard about your story a long time ago. Watched a lot of your videos. Very interesting. Quick introduction just to let you guys know. Sebastian Ghiroghiu, 24 years old, YouTuber with almost 1 million subscribers. And very, very, very successful entrepreneur as well. Today, we're going to let you know a little bit about his journey. As you know, on this podcast, we talk about self-improvement, happiness, and business. So yeah, let's get into it, my brother. Looking forward.
Let's do it, bro.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course. I appreciate you coming in 17 hours to come say what's up. So let's make sure it's a good one. Entertain your viewers.
Yeah. Trying to do it for the viewers. Trying to give them a good show. Sometimes I have to do it. So yeah, it's a bit busy with the agency and stuff, but trying to divert some time to the podcast as well. Alright, so yeah, let's get started then. A bit about your journey. A lot of people may know it already. For those who don't, a quick summary of how you came to this point right now. I know that your past has not been good despite the misconceptions online where they think that you are this son of really rich parents. I know it's completely false, but give them a quick backstory.
Yeah, my parents were born and raised in Romania during the time it was a communist country. So it was communist until late 80s. So they're born there. They came here seeking asylum, better life. I was born here shortly after, and my parents were not educated. My father was a truck driver working hard, construction worker. And then my parents got divorced when I was young, 4 years old. My father lost a lot of what he built up in 2008, like your father.
Oh yeah,
2008. So yeah, and then my mom was uneducated. My parents were divorced.
Your dad left at that point?
Yeah, he left when I was 4, so I was like, it was 2004, 2003. And then in 2008, he lost a lot of what he built up. So he didn't have like as much money to support.
But when he left, were you still close with him or no?
I don't remember. I was too young. So yeah, and then my mom she used to clean houses. She used to take care of old people. She worked at Wendy's even at one point in her life. I remember I was going to school and my mom was working at Wendy's at one point. But yeah, so just a very hard life, never had any money. Always thrifted clothes, buying clothes from secondhand for like a couple dollars. Never had anything nice growing up, really, to be honest.
And then when did your life start changing? When did you start working?
So I got my first job when I was 16 at Taco Bell, KFC, and then after that,
I think you posted a photo, right? Oh, that was at McDonald's.
It was at KFC.
KFC,
yeah. That's and Taco Bell was a joint. It was 2 in 1. It's my first picture on my Instagram. Yeah. So, and the caption is like player 1 start.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you have one photo as well. You're like, if my dad, what was the photo?
It was the picture of the Lambo, and if it was what did it say? Like, if the Lambo was rented, like I don't know, something. Yeah. You have it. I don't have.
It was very nice caption, but anyways.
I don't have Instagram anymore, so I don't remember what I posted. But it was cheeky. It was clever.
Yeah. So yeah, at 16 you started working at McDonald's and KFC. And then how the hell, KFC.
Taco Bell, KFC.
And how the hell did you go from that to where you are now?
Okay, so I'll just run you through the last 8 years of my life. So then I went and vacuumed cars at a car wash. Then I went and I sold auto glass at a car wash, fixing windshields and selling auto glass. Then I became a caregiver, like my mom. So then I was doing that. I quit the job. I was doing caregiving. And then I started getting into real estate, and I got my real estate license. And then when I got my license, as a realtor, then I started dropshipped for a while. Then I started some brands. I started YouTube as well. I started making some like affiliate deals from YouTube, ad revenue. This is where I started to like have some sort of capital. So I started trading. I started some more brands, Ecom brands. They were the best ones I've ever done. And then what else did I do? I started my agency around COVID time, so 2020. That's when I started my agency. And then I was also investing more, trading more. This is the point where I started to do really, really well with crypto, making money with there, running my agency. And then fast forward, I started getting into money lending. I flipped my first house. Now I'm doing my first spec home, which is development. So I have my first build, which my house is up there up north. A lot of money lending. My agency's running. I'm involved in SaaS. I have YouTube, but it's kind of on the back burner. And also, like about 6 to 8 months ago, I started doing, I have the free course, Discover TikTok Dropshipping. And it's a great course for people to learn to kind of, it's free, yeah. It's like a brochure course on TikTok dropshipping. It gives people a place to learn how to dropship for free, to test it. The only thing we ask is that they use our affiliate links when they do it. So they get a discount.
Fair enough.
We get a kickback and they get a free course.
Yeah.
So it's a great strategy.
Very
and then
good
at the end, if they go all through all the free content and they're making a few $100s a day, there's a paid course if they want it. But it's only designed if you're like, this is for you. So we're trying to create like the best possible strategy for people to learn and dip their hands in it and like to make it as accessible as possible for new people. And the strategy, we created this whole funnel. The strategy with that was to go viral on TikTok because we noticed we'd post TikToks. And when we talk about money or the course, we'd get spike in signups, which we have 195,000 people in the course.
Wow.
So we'd get a spike in signups. And then that's when we started posting controversial and more, talking more. If you don't have a Lambo in your 20s, 100 million views. Everyone's like, who the F is this kid with a Lambo? How does he get one in his 20s? They all go through the thing.
You recently went very, very viral for this clip, which you did, which is like, if you don't have a Lambo in your 20s, it's funny. If you don't have a Lambo in your 20s, you're like an idiot or something.
I said you should have a serious talk with yourself.
Yeah. Can you imagine that talk? Like the guy that's sitting in his room is like, listen, man, why don't I have a Lambo?
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, but the message, I completely understand like where you were coming from. I think maybe the phrasing was a bit like, obviously I understand where you're coming from in the sense that like if you are not working on yourself or you're not trying to live your full potential, then you're wasting your potential. And
that's the meaning behind it, and the words I used
just to go viral
were intentional. So the key words are Lambo and 20. So I could have said if you don't have 200K in your 20s, you should have a serious talk with yourself. Nobody would have cared.
Yeah.
I could have said if you don't get a chance to own a Lambo in your life, then you should have a talk with yourself. Nobody would have cared. But it's the fact that you combine like something as ignorant as a Lamborghini, which is stupid, and as early as 20, that's what makes people mad. So it was intentional, and it worked.
TikTok is a lot of 20-year-olds, so you should know your audience. If you're gonna post on TikTok, you talk to them, you know.
The actual message was, the actual true meaning is like, if you're in your 20s and you're a man, you want a fast car, you want a sports car, you should work hard towards it.
Yeah, and because it's on the presumption that most young men want fast cars, which is like the common goal, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, you also recently went on a podcast with Ethan Klein, famous YouTuber, H3H3, and very controversial video, got like 1 million views, and you haven't given any response about that publicly till this date. So today we're gonna deep dive into that. But before we do get in this topic, I want to talk a bit about the entrepreneurial side, because I think it's very interesting. You know, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, YouTubers, and sometimes it's their entrepreneurial side is their YouTube, or like, for example, they sell to their customers, which is great, but it's also, I think, an additional achievement if you run a business that's not even focused on making money from your audience. You know what I mean? If you're selling them something, that's one thing, but at the same time, if you have a business that can run without you being the owner, you know, it doesn't rely on your personal brand at all, that's very impressive. And I like the story because it shows me that you tried a lot of different things. Like every basically side hustle that you see online, every opportunity you saw where there was a chance to make money, you tried, you know. And before we talk about each aspect, and I'm interested as to know why you kept moving on from real estate or from this and that, and why did you end up with Google Ads agency after you tried all those things. Really quickly, why do you have this innate desire to like earn money? Is this something like, is it like innate, or is it something like you've kind of like you forced on yourself, or is it just something like you always wanted to be rich? Is it because you had a lot of struggle growing up, you want to get your mom out of poverty? Where does this burning desire to be wealthy come from?
It's exactly that. It's exactly just, I grew up very poor. I was put in a lot of painful situations as a kid, and a lot of shame, and it created a really strong fire in me.
What was the painful situations like?
Just not being able to fit in with normal people. I was so just not normal. Like I never got to have clothes that kids would wear at school. I never got to have shoes. I never got to have a JanSport backpack because it was $40. We had to get the secondhand backpacks or whatever, and people would make fun of me and be like, "Why do you have this weird backpack?" You know, I'm like, "Bro, F this. Like I just want to make money so that my kids don't have to do this." Because I was thinking about the future. I was like, my kids are never gonna go through this. This sucks.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like We go out to eat, and if we go to McDonald's, it's nothing besides the dollar menu.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
McDouble or McChicken. You know, not even a Big Mac. You can't even get a Big Mac. Never mind going to like any dinners or fancy restaurants. That's completely out of the question. But even it got so bad to one point where my mom couldn't afford the electricity bill, and there was nothing she could do, so the lights went off in our house.
Really?
We had no electricity. We lived in an apartment. We lived 5 people in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. My mom and my sister would sleep in one room. Me and my brother would sleep in the other room, and my older brother would sleep in the living room on the couch. He didn't even have a bedroom, and he was like in his teenage years. So he was like 15 or 16 at the time. He was in high school. So it's like just being, and those are just a few of the situations. My mom came on my podcast and she told me, she's like, there was a point in time where I made you the last egg before school, and I wanted an egg. I was craving it, and there was no eggs left. And she's like, I went through to look through the change in our house to look for the coins to go and buy a dozen of eggs, which was 60 cents or 70 cents. And she's like, I couldn't even have enough money to buy eggs. I didn't know that until I talked to her, but there's been plenty of situations.
But yeah, mothers are like that, man.
She'll give me the rest.
They will never make you feel like, even if you're poor, they'll never make you feel poor.
She did her best. Yeah, she did her best. But
it's so like the love that like a young man has with his mom, especially like mothers, bro. That just next level.
Yeah, I love my mom to death. She's an incredibly hardworking, and she can take on more pain and stress than any woman I know.
Yeah.
So I envy her for that. Right? Like I'm inspired by her.
They always say that they'll always say they're not hungry or they're not this, and they'll always think about you first. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nice to see. Anyway, so yeah, how did you become so like entrepreneur? Was it like YouTube? Where did you learn all this? Obviously, you didn't have a father figure growing up. Was it YouTube? How did you get into all these different businesses?
YouTube, yeah.
YouTube.
Definitely like the internet. I learned about it just by seeking the information
Tai
on the
Lopez,
internet.
like knowledge.
Dude,
Because those are like the first.
Yeah, you have to give him credit, bro. You have to, because I saw his ads and he had a Lambo, and I was like, well, how the hell did this dude get a Lambo? So I watched his ads.
He did influence you.
And then I went up to his funnel, and he was in his house, and he's talking about
You bought his course?
buying I couldn't afford it, so no.
Yeah.
But
Me too. I didn't buy his course either.
yeah, so it's like you kind of have to give him a little bit of credit, because even if he didn't have the best product, like he still introduced you into the world.
And he's talking about books, and that's like a great
Sure.
lesson.
Yeah. But just on the internet, bro, looking up dropshipping, seeing other YouTubers, connecting with people, just seeking information, seeking like new information. I didn't have a father figure or a mentor or anything like that. It's just I kind of built the plane on the way down, you know. Like
Yeah.
I was just kind of figured it out.
That's
as I
what
went.
entrepreneurship is. You jump out the
Yeah.
plane and you build a parachute on the way down.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hope to survive.
So, all right, then let's say, okay, what was the first thing you said you did? There was like real estate. There was like a bunch of different things with those 8 years.
Yeah, like
First
okay,
of all, before we get into that, what's your net worth now? Do you want to reveal it?
So I don't know how much money I have in liquid cash.
Yeah.
I don't know if I were to sell everything tomorrow. I don't have an idea of what it would be. It'd be multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But if you were to also put a value on things that I could sell, like my agency or like theoretically my personal brand, which it's kind of a gray area, those things are worth a lot more. So it's like it's kind of hard to say. I don't really know what my net worth is. I'm a multimillionaire. You understand this probably.
Yeah.
Like when you have money everywhere, you don't like. It's
Of
kind of
course,
hard
yeah.
to even know how much you really have. Like
Quantify it.
yeah, it's like it's just all over the place, and I'm fine. I can go to the dinner and have a dinner, and like I don't care. It's honestly I don't care. I don't care to know to the exact $10 that I have.
You don't want to be on Forbes?
I don't care. I don't really care. No.
You want to be a billionaire?
I have no specific desire to be a billionaire.
Really?
Yeah, I will be one. I will, but I don't care. I don't care to be one. Just because of how early, based on my age, based on what I know and who I know and the leverage I have and what sort of returns I've made with investments thus far in my life and what I have now, I calculated it and I'll be a billionaire. By the time I'm like 50 or 40, if I'm just safe, I'll be a billionaire. And if I'm aggressive, that's assuming I don't like start a company and sell it and make like 50 million here and then use that money, which I will. Very likely like earlier, but I will be a billionaire. But I don't care.
But I feel like those two I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I just feel like those two statements are kind of contradictory. Like if you say, because it's not like you're saying I will have a cheeseburger but I don't care. It's like $1 billion, not a joke. You know what I mean? The amount of struggle, like, it's very like purposeful kind of like.
I think money compounds.
Desire.
I think no, I don't think so. I think money. It's not like being the best swimmer in the world, being a billionaire. It's about the amount of money that you have and how if you're just smart with it and if it can compound. Because if you just compound it, that with time.
True,
Eventually,
yeah,
you're just gonna have a billion. And I don't care to be a billionaire. Like I don't care about the title of being a billionaire, but I just know because of how early I am, how much I already have, the people I know, and what I'm involved in. I know that just it's a good formula for a billionaire.
Yeah, but it's also a commitment to say that you won't take a step down from working, or you will continue to work this hard, or probably even harder, pushing yourself day in day out for the next 40 to 50 years. You get me?
I'm not pushing myself and working hard because I want to be a billionaire. I'm doing it because I love to do it. It makes me fulfilled when I like achieve more. So yeah.
But it's interesting because that's what I asked you in the beginning when I was kind of trying to find out what drives you. it was more of the need for money,
Mm-hmm.
or more of the money basically.
Initially, yeah.
So it's definitely interesting that now obviously the motivations change. Now it's just that you enjoy the work. So
I get fulfilled from it. Yeah.
yeah, it makes you happy.
Yeah.
Working.
Guys, don't ignore this pink drink. You bought me this. I don't know what this is.
Don't think it's like his go-to drink.
All the alpha male Twitter is gonna get mad at me.
Oh man, they're like this tough guy, gym guys.
It's like the strawberry sweetener refresher.
I don't
it's
know.
pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I know you don't drink caffeine late, which is a very good habit, unlike me. Because for me, it's very early. It's 8 a.m. in Dubai, so it's perfect
He's
time for my
crazy.
coffee. But yeah, now it's 8 p.m. in where are we? Scottsdale.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
So yeah, I just picked the first drink which came up on the screen. Anyways,
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank
So you were saying, obviously, initially your motivation was to get money so you could feed,
avoid pain.
avoid pain,
And now it's fun.
you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So you never do you ever wake up one day and feel like not doing anything?
Yeah. Yeah. The last couple of weeks I've been slower.
Slower,
But
huh?
some days are 10-hour days. Some days are more chill. Some days I woke
But
up.
that's the thing. If you're gonna, like, as you say, the workload that you're gonna have to put in for the next 30, 40, 50 years, it's gonna be intense. Is that not worrying the slightest?
I think I'm making really good progress.
Yeah.
I think I'm going pretty quick.
Alright.
Because my lazy day, I still probably get more done on my lazy day
Yeah.
than people get done on their work days.
True, yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, some days I wake up and I do the essentials, maybe 3 hours of essential work. And then I'll watch some shows, go to the gym, go on a hike, hang out with friends, go see my mom,
Yeah.
just chill.
All right. And how many days a month would you say you just take a chill day? Or how many days a month would you say you do nothing? Do you ever
I
wake up
never
and
I
nothing?
never do nothing.
Yeah.
I never do nothing. I always at least respond to text messages and emails.
True, yeah.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah.
Is like responding to my employees.
Okay. How many times a month would you say you just do the essential?
Just the essential. Between maybe like 4 to 7 days a month.
Wow.
4 to 6
That's a
days
lot,
month.
bro. But also at this stage
like-
it's different because your agency runs itself and stuff.
I don't know, bro. I'm working less, but I'm making more money than ever. So I don't know.
All right. So why did you keep changing hustle to hustle? Was there not? Did you realize that? Oh, because I know a lot of people have made great money from dropshipping. You know,
Yeah.
millions, and real estate the same.
hmm
Why did you keep going until you found Google Ads?
I don't know. There's something beautiful about
Let's
trying
talk about,
something.
okay. Let's talk about each side hustle that you tried.
Okay.
Dropshipping.
What about it?
How was the experience? What didn't you like about it that made you move on? What did you like about it?
I liked dropshipping. It's fun. It's exhilarating. But there's too many things going on. There's too much, like it requires too much of my mental space, too much headache, too much requirement. I've always been into real estate. That was always a goal of mine, was always to get into real estate because I like the idea of picturing something like an art and then bringing it into reality.
So you're more on the development side, not like a realtor.
Yes,
Ah, okay.
development.
Ah, okay.
That's what I'm doing with my house.
Yeah.
So, and Google Ads, I saw an
But
opportunity.
when you said you got a real estate license,
I was going to sell homes and then make money that way,
okay,
but
okay.
I was dropshipping and I made too much money dropshipping, so that's why I didn't. For the agency, I just saw an opportunity. Nobody was offering Google Ads. Nobody was doing it, and I was like, Google is great. It's consistent. Facebook sucks, and also you don't need like creatives. I mean, you do if you're doing like broader campaigns, but for the most part, you can do shopping. You could do branded campaigns, like, and you don't need like good creatives. Whereas Facebook,
it's all about the content.
a lot of it relies on your creatives, a lot of your marketing and like how well it's going to perform. So with Google, it's like, okay, if we can take
Numbers,
that
logic,
out, it's
data.
strategy. It's
Yeah.
strategy and bids and like all this crap. So I was like, okay, we could figure this out and then offer it to all these people that are doing Facebook because nobody was talking about Google back then. That's why. It was just an opportunity.
Oh,
I
nobody's
saw.
talking about Google. So how'd you learn about it? How'd you get into it? Like, how is that something that you were?
A friend of mine was running a brand and he told me that he was running Google Ads for his store, just basic stuff like shopping, search campaigns, and some other stuff, like some dynamic stuff. And he was like making a lot of money with Google. Like it was like 10-20% of his revenue.
Wow.
Even more. And it was like, it was very profitable. And
The
very
ROI
easy.
was great.
Yeah, extremely well. And then I was like, okay, well, most of these kids dropshipping aren't even running Facebook ads. I'm sorry, they're not
Google
even running
ads.
Google ads. I'm like, I'll just go be their Google fulfillment. So yeah, that's why. It was
And
just
you
an
already had the
opportunity.
network because you did the drop shipping. So you already had all these friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So were they your initial clients?
I was on
right?
YouTube already and stuff, so I already had a network of people, and yeah.
They were your initial clients.
hmm
Nice.
Yeah, it's good, dude. I think the agency has generated. My CMO has said we've generated $50 million for clients.
Wow.
I don't know the number.
That's
but
mad. $50
over-
million
over
for your
50
client.
mil.
And if you were to, I read on your website something like if your ad doesn't perform well, you get like $500.
So it's like a promotion we're running. Like we would literally give people money back if we ran their campaigns. But like the thing is, when we onboard a brand, we know pretty quickly after going into their accounts and looking at their brand, like how well it's going to do.
Okay.
So we have that offer, but we don't take on any person that wants to work with us.
Oh, really?
Actually, when I was more involved in the agency last year, we would decline like 70 to 80% of people, and we would only work with like the top of the line brands.
Okay. And you charge like a retainer fee, or is it like a commission percentage?
There was a base retainer and there was a performance fee as well. So the more that we were generating for them, the more that we would charge.
All right.
Based on like their profit, yeah.
And how much was the retainer?
The base retainer, it was never less than $1,500 a month. Some clients were paying, I'm trying to think of like the biggest invoice I've sent. Some clients have paid like $8,000
Wow.
per month before. Some of the lifetime value on one of our clients.
So guys, I'm sure if you guys don't know about Google Ads, basically, I'm sure they all know, but when you search on Google, the first few results that come up that say sponsored, that's Seb himself put that.
Running those ads, yeah. So if you
there.
click that, you're making my ads less profitable if you don't buy anything. So
yeah, that's why whenever I tell people to search, something I show people because my agency's #1 search result.
Yeah.
So I show them on their phone when they search like the type of marketing we do, and it comes up. I'm like, but don't click it, please don't click it.
It's gonna cost you 9 cents.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's small money, but it just annoys me. Yeah.
Yeah, we have that struggle as well. I was gonna say one of our.
It's a good way, but if you have any competitors, search your niche on Google, let your competitors show up, and just keep clicking their ad.
There you go.
But I think it tracks the IP address, yeah. So probably one per IP address, or I'm sure it doesn't let you like completely.
Yeah, maybe if you like click it
Google
on
is smart.
back to back, I don't know, or maybe they do it on purpose to make more money.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
They just charge you more.
Who knows? I don't know. I'll ask Nate. We'll see what he says.
Who's Nate?
My CMO.
Ah, all right.
I was gonna say one thing. Like one of our clients, like lifetime value, I think is like over 100K. Like he's paid us from one client. So I would say that's a pretty cool experience because we've made him millions of dollars.
Wow, nice.
And it's cool to be like to have such a great relationship. Like I met this dude in person and like I bought him some stuff and I was like, dude, this dude's literally given me $100,000.
Yeah, nice.
Like, and I've spent it on employees and whatever, but
Yeah.
still, like, it's really cool to see. And
You guys have
I've
benefited
made
each other so much.
I've made you millions of dollars. I'm like, bro, we gotta go snowboarding. Like, we
Yeah.
gotta go like hang out. We gotta do
Client
something.
and like they say, a client will become a friend quicker than a friend will ever become a client. And client-friend relationships, like when you have those clients who are friends at the same time, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Because you guys just benefit each other so much that there's so much like love between you guys. 'Cause you
Those
guys
are the
help
best
each other so much,
relationships.
you know what I mean?
The best ones.
Yeah, and it's like completely, fully mutually beneficial, not to the point where it's like one of you is like, because you know sometimes friendships, everything is transactional in life, you know, every relationship.
100%.
But sometimes there's a strong imbalance. Maybe some people are using you, some of your friends, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I was gonna say, we were talking about the side hustles
Mhm.
and Google Ads.
Mhm.
So when it came to Google, your first few clients were your friends. How was the experience getting those guys on board and running those first campaigns? How does exactly Google Ads work? And also, do you do SEO or just Google Ads?
No, just Google Ads. It was thrilling, bro. I remember I reached out to my homies that were dropshipping and I told them that I was doing, because I first did it on my store back in the day, and I would send them screenshots of the Google ad campaigns on my store, and I would be like, yo, let me run this and I'll take like 20% of whatever I generate you profit. So it's like,
Nice.
you can't lose. I'm going to make you 80% more money on
Yeah.
this campaign. You're going to make 80% money for free. And it was
But
exciting.
they pay for the campaign.
Yeah, they pay
They
ad
put that-
spend.
yeah, ad spend.
They pay ad spend. But either way, they're, because of working with me, they are going to walk away with more money. And
Yeah.
I'm going to walk away with some money. So it's like, okay, perfect, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. And at first, like I looked up courses on Google. I literally, bro, this is so funny. I was like on YouTube already talking about dropshipping and stuff. But when it came time for me to do the agency, I literally went back through the whole loop of like the people that watch my channel. So I went on YouTube, I looked up how to run Google ads, how to do Google campaigns. I found Google influencers, I found Google gurus or whatever. I bought courses, I tested it on my store.
Yeah.
I tested it on my friends' stores, I did strategies. And I did that not for very long until I hired somebody that was more experienced. And then I started to build out the team and get more clients
And
and
how big
stuff.
is your team now?
It's like I told you in the car, it's 10 to 15. That's not the agency though, that's like my whole operation.
Okay.
The Google ad agency, it was 10, now it's probably like 4 or 5.
Wow.
It's scaled down, yeah.
But 4 to 5 full time, and then I'm sure you have hundreds of like, or like a lot of interns or freelancers and stuff.
Yeah, like contractors, but those don't count. Like,
Yeah, of course,
if
yeah.
we're gonna use you once this week
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
yeah,
like
I
I don't
get
count
what you mean.
that. So, but yeah,
like 4 experts in like Google Ads who've been doing it for ages.
not 4. We have 2 main people that run the strategy and do Google ad.
And how many clients do you have in the agency?
I actually don't know. I actually do not know. Like I've stepped out of it like a year ago, or no, not even, like 6 to 8 months ago, maybe longer. So I don't focus on the agency as well at all. It's just
But you have 100% of the company. You own 100%
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
What is the story and the feeling when you made your first $1 million?
the story and the feeling. Like I've been telling you, like I've hustled through a lot of different things. I've made money. I've traded here and there. Like I've done a lot of different things. So it's not like I started one company and then like worked hard, and then eventually became a millionaire. I don't know, bro. Like it was cool. I knew I had $1 million. One of the biggest things for me was I had an ACH payment go into my bank account for 1.5 million.
What's that?
It was a payout
Oh, nice.
from what we were doing for 1.5 million
Where was that from?
from Shopify.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was one of the like we have like 6 affiliates. It was one of the affiliates.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that was like when everything was crazy and it was just going nuts. Well, I did this competition where I gave away 100K,
Yeah.
and so that was part of the reason why.
Oh, nice.
Because I set up a whole competition and we did all these affiliates and stuff, and it was good. We gave away.
How exactly did that money come from? You
How?
wanna say? Yeah.
It was affiliate.
Like what are you affiliate?
Shopify.
Oh, Shopify paid you that.
Yeah.
Oh, if you get people on Shopify.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's great because Shopify is literally the best. It's not you're selling people literally the best.
Yeah.
The
I'm
best,
not. I'm not. Yeah. It's definitely mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
and
No, but
there's-
I mean, it is literally the place for dropshipping.
Yeah.
So yeah, sick.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. But yeah, that was cool to see that payment, such a large payment.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
How did your parents react your mom when you started to see the results?
She didn't really understand. She was like,
Did she think you were selling drugs?
some of my family did, but not her. She just didn't really get it. Like I explained it to her, but you know how parents are, grandparents. Like even when you explain things to them, they're like, "Huh?" And she's the same
Different
way.
generation.
She doesn't get it. Like even if somebody asked her today, I've told her, she'd probably be like, "I don't know. He's like internet, like marketing something."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So she didn't care too much. But yeah, she was cool. I bought her a Porsche. That's when she I think she was like, "Oh my gosh."
How old were you at that point?
22.
Nice.
I think. Yeah.
That was her first, the
23.
first big gift you gave her.
I was 23, and yes, it was last year. I was 23.
How was the feeling?
It was great, bro. She didn't even know what it was. She's like, "What kind of car is it?"
Really?
I'm like, "It's a Porsche." She's
What
like,
Porsche was it?
She's like, a Porsche Macan SUV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a sick one.
You know, just something for her. But she liked
Great
it.
mom's car.
Yeah, exactly. Good for the girls. She loved it.
And what about your brothers? Because they all came from poverty as well. So seeing you blow up like that, and I guess all your family, your whole family's life changed from that moment.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't know how much it's affected my brothers. I'm sure that.
You didn't give them gifts?
No, I do, but I'm a lot more restrictive
Of course, yeah.
with men than I am
Yeah.
with women. With girls, I'll give girls gifts all the time.
But obviously, you want your brothers to work hard.
Because they need to, yeah.
Yeah.
And all guys have to. So I'm a little bit more restrictive. But even then,
But
I help them out when I can.
Right. And do any of them work for you?
No.
Would you ever hire one of your brothers?
Well, some of them are actually, my brothers are actually going to help me do part of this house. So they don't technically work for me, but they're going to help me out with the house, yeah.
Yeah, because it's always interesting. Because at the same time, a lot of people say that mixing family and business can get.
It's not a good
complicated.
idea, yeah.
It puts a lot of stress.
I don't like the idea of it. Like it depends on the dynamic. So if I hire you as an employee and you have a job to do, that works. Like I have a little brother in Romania. I hired him to do thumbnails. He'll do thumbnails. I pay him. We're good.
Nice.
But like to start a business with a brother, I would be careful.
Yeah, because partnership percentages.
And yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
But it could work, but I don't know.
I get you.
Yeah.
Nice, but I'm sure for them it must have been like, wow, what the hell is this guy doing?
You can ask them. We can call them after. We'll see what they
Yeah.
say. I'm sure that they see it as pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right. So then let's talk about an average day in your life. What does that look like?
It's different every day, bro. But let me just try to give you an average day. On average, I'll probably wake up about 8 o'clock. I'll wake up. I'll stretch a little bit, pray, do my
you
thing.
pray as soon as you wake up?
Yeah. I try to pray when I wake up.
Nice. What do you say in that prayer? Because obviously I'm Muslim. I don't really know much about Christianity.
It's a good question, actually. Nobody's ever asked me that. I never was taught how to pray, but when I pray now, the way I go about it is I basically just imagine like I'm talking to my Father, just the God of the universe, the Father that I have. And so like I'll thank Him. I'll listen. I'll be quiet for some time. I'll listen. I'll ask for ways to serve Him and glorify Him, and I'll ask Him for help, ask Him for wisdom, do these things. It depends on what I'm going through and whatnot. But basically like how you would talk to a father. That's how I pray.
Okay. To be like, I hope I don't come across as insensitive, but when you say like you listen, what are you listening to? Or like, what do you mean by that?
I'm listening for His words.
Okay.
I'm listening for Him to speak to me.
And how does that like? How would you hear that? How does that guidance come?
So
I assume it's like symbolic, right? I don't.
Yeah, so let me give you an example. Like this is an example I've said before. It's like the first time I've ever really heard something. I was repenting for something that I've done and I wasn't specific. And I remember reading this part of the Bible where it said that when you ask for forgiveness, God likes you to be specific. on what you're asking for.
Yeah.
So it's not that you did this, but you did this. It's not that you, for example, and this is not what I did. It's not that you cheated on your wife. It's that you didn't take me seriously. You disrespected me. You didn't listen. Like, that's what it was. Because you knew you weren't supposed to be doing that, but you did it anyway, and that's disrespect. Yeah. So I was praying for a while, and I got down to the bottom of it, and I was like, okay, this is really what I did. This is the true sin, which was I disrespected. I didn't take you seriously, and I'm so sorry for that. And that's when I heard it, and this thing inside of me was, before I even finished my sentence, I was like, I'm sorry that I did. And he's like, it's okay. It's okay. That's like, that's what I heard in my mind. I heard that.
Damn.
And it was like, in the middle of my sentence, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't looking for that answer. I was on the verge of tears. I was just like, I felt bad. And then that's what came over me. That's what I've heard.
You heard
so,
that.
And to me, that's God speaking to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's what I listen for, because the God, he is our father. He's my father. And if you have a conversation with your dad, you're not supposed to just talk and ask him for stuff the entire time.
Of course,
You're supposed to listen to him. This is the God of the entire universe, infinite wisdom. You should probably let him speak, right? Like, you should listen. And so that's what I listen for. Does that make sense?
To be honest, it's different, because like when I pray, it's mostly like me talking. I don't really listening. And yeah.
What is your prayer like?
We have 5 daily prayers.
Right.
Those are like the mandatory ones, and then I do other types of prayers as well. If like I need to ask for something specific, or if I'm feeling grateful after each prayer, I try to do like a gratitude prayer, which is like in sajda, which is like in prostration, head on the floor.
And what do you say?
During that one, I just repeat shukran lillah, which means thank you, God.
Mm-hmm.
Again and again and again and again, while I'm thinking about different blessings that I got maybe that day, perhaps usually that day, to highlight them and to pinpoint them. And then during the daily prayer, it's like just basically praising God in different types of way. You basically talk about, let's say, any one of his 99, we have like these 99 attributes of God, and you can talk about any one of them. But yeah, we don't really listen, you know what I mean? Like
I don't know.
Obviously for us, our God is not we don't say like our God is like human necessarily, that he talks, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of like.
So this is the thing. And
by the way, I have nothing against Christianity, because you know, on the Tate podcast, some people thought I was like anti-Christianity because of Tate, when Tate was talking about Christianity and he was not like really for it. I was kind of like obviously I was just agreeing with him on the points that he was saying. But I'm not anti-Christianity in any way at all.
This is not something that they teach in like Romanian, the Christianity that I grew up in.
Yeah.
This is something that I've read in the Bible. It's like there's a verse. It's like a whisper. If you want to hear, he speaks to you in whispers. Yeah. So if you want to hear him, you have to listen close. You have to be close to him if you want to hear him.
Okay.
So it's
we have these similar, but for us it's just symbolic. So there's a ayah in the Quran as well, which is like, call upon me and I will answer you.
So yeah, so it's not like growing up in church. It's not like sit when you're praying, don't say anything. Because in church, when I go to church, all my parents and grandparents, whatever, they're always constantly talking. Thank you, please look out, please bless, please do this. But for me, I'm doing it a little bit differently based on the things I've read in the Bible.
Okay,
so
makes sense.
I don't know if it's the best, if I'm being like a good representation of
but
Christian
it's your
religion,
personal spirituality and your personal practice.
For me, it's my Christianity is more about my relationship with my Lord, my God.
Yeah, and if it works for you, it works, you know.
Yeah.
Who's anyone tell you how to have your relationship with your God?
Believe me, bro, a lot of people on the internet tell me a lot of things. So
wanted to ask you then, H3, you just finished the podcast with him. How long ago was that? A few days ago? A week ago?
Oh, probably like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 weeks.
And a lot of people are looking for your response.
Yeah.
That podcast got 1 million views. The comments are going crazy. You're going viral right now. Why haven't you given any response? Were you waiting for this podcast?
I haven't made like a video on my channel because these people that are attacking me, they're not my audience. All of my audience is like, yeah, you did a good job. Like, this guy's just a fat loser. So
has it made you feel bad in any way?
Feel bad in what way? What do you mean?
The hate or zero?
The first day was annoying, but no, I don't care anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. These people that are attacking me they don't even know who they're attacking. They're not even attacking like a Sebastian Ghiroghiu. They're attacking like this illusion of me that doesn't exist.
That H3 portrayed you as.
Right, because so what they're doing now is, and Ethan proved my point. So I said he was a hypocrite, and I also said he was the worst person on the planet.
You think he's the worst person on the planet?
I said that, and that's what actually got him to do the interview. But he's proving my point because he was like, I'm not a hypocrite, and then I brought something up about him, about how he's like, he doesn't like exercising, and he's like, well, that was taken out of context on the podcast. And I'm like, well, if it was taken out of context, then okay, then explain it to me. And he's like, well, I actually do exercise, and I'm trying to get my weight under control. And I'm like, That's dope. Good.
Yeah, I saw that bro, on the
I'm like, hell yeah, good job, good for you. Now what he's doing is he's taking the podcast that we filmed and he's taking moments and rearranging those moments in the podcast. For example, I had to go piss during the podcast and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go piss real quick. Everyone's like, okay, go, you're good. I went, so I got up and I walked away. And then what he's doing is he's making clips of where he asks me a question.
And then you get up and walk away?
And then I get up and walk away. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So he's
He
deliberately.
made those clips though?
Yeah. He's deliberately, and he's gonna say it's not me, it's my team. Okay.
His team though.
Yeah.
His
But that's what I said, and he's gonna give me the same response. I already know it. But he's deliberately and purposely making things look that are just that did not happen. Or like I just want to be left alone, that he's putting that at the end of a lot of clips. Like he'll ask me a question and I'll say, I just want to be left alone. But I said that when he's like, what about, we were talking about the government and like trying to like convince, like letting people trying to convince my kids to be gay or whatever. And I was like, look, I just don't want any intervention from the government. I just want to be left alone. And so he's taking that one part and putting it on the end of these clips.
Sebastian, do you like, what do you think about girls? No, I just want to be left alone.
Exactly. So it's like deliberately taking things out of context, and lying to his own audience, being a hypocrite once again. Is like, oh, it was taken out of context, bro. It just goes to show like the type of person that I am versus the type of person that he is. When I brought something up, he's like, that was taken out of context. It's not true. This is the truth. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. And then same thing for me. He's deliberately taking me out of context. I'm 24. He's almost 40. He's a father. He has people that depend on him, and like that shows the difference in our maturity levels already. Like I
How old is he?
Almost 4. He's 37, I think.
Wow.
But like I seek the truth and I stand up for the truth and I respect the truth, right?
And
so
I think you promote good morals and values.
100%, yeah. So he just proved my point. And it's unfortunate that he's like that. I tweeted right before. I actually wanted to have a good, mature conversation.
So how do you?
I just want to say one thing. Sure. I wanted to have a good, mature conversation about the different viewpoints that we have.
Yeah.
Just like how we just did about religion, which religion can be sensitive.
Right.
A lot of what we talked about was sensitive on Ethan's podcast.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. He just wanted to make me look stupid. He just wanted content.
Attack.
He just wanted to make fun and poke and bully. And it's like, dude, you're almost 40. You have kids. Like, what kind of person does that? Like, who are you? You're a big baby. You're like a big kid. It's like really? It's just so stupid.
How did this podcast come into fruition? Was it you? Did you reach out to him? Did he reach out to you?
No, I said the Lambo clip. He saw it. He did a segment on it saying how like of a terrible person I am, blah, 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 whatever. And then I responded to it and I was like, Ethan is like one of the worst people ever.
Was it on Twitter or like in a video?
I made a TikTok and he saw the TikTok. And then he saw the TikTok of me saying he's the final boss. Like, I like to change people's lives. Ethan would be the final boss because he's like the worst. And then he invited me onto his podcast on Twitter. And then the next day I did it.
Damn.
So
I respect the courage that you went there, because obviously it's his platform. He can manipulate the clips. He can, put you in any way.
Yeah.
You're vulnerable to his
yeah, it was definitely like walking into the lion's dungeon.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But it's good you did it.
I got big balls, bro. I don't care. What?
Do you regret that you did it?
Not at all. I don't like the way that's obviously being portrayed. But at the same time, the people that are hating me are people that I would have never won over anyway. Yeah. They're not my fans.
Yeah, they're stuck in their own mindset.
They're lost souls in their own way, so I don't really mind. But it's actually a good thing, because the one thing I learned from it is that I'm surrounded by a lot of people that agree with most of my belief systems, including you. Like, maybe the only thing we disagree on is our religion.
Yeah,
for the most part, we would get along with almost everything else, or like agree on everything else, or have similar values. And
even our religion is very similar values, by the way.
True, very true. But my point is that like I'm around people that agree with me a lot.
Like-minded.
And so to be contested and to be challenged a lot showed me that like, okay, I need to kind of have some of these people in my life, not like bullies and fat losers like Ethan, but like people that disagree. And I do. There's a YouTuber, James Johnny. Did you see the greatest crypto scam in the world? That video? It's like an hour long.
That's by that, not the guy who did Logan Paul, CryptoZoo guy?
No, that's CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla.
So different. James Johnny. He makes like video documentaries. Big YouTuber.
Similar to CoffeeZilla.
It's more like video documentaries. CoffeeZilla is like exposing people.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. This guy, like, we have different viewpoints on everything.
Really?
On COVID, on Bitcoin, on like all of these things. We're basically opposite. Like, I think he has a more liberal ideology.
Okay.
And I'm friends with him. Like, I talk to him and he contests me and I contest him, and that's good because it's healthy. When he saw Ethan, he's like, I saw the backlash. Like, I don't agree with some of the things you said. How are you taking it? How are you doing? Like, how's the hate? And he like checked up on me, and he disagrees with everything. And this kid's again in his 20s, and it's like, it goes to show this is a much better person than Ethan. Yeah. Like, this 24-year-old is much more mature, and so
I think it's good to have people who have opposing mindsets.
It is good because it strengthens me.
Yeah.
So it makes me stronger. Yeah. So it's good.
Because some of the things I feel like you were saying, for me, I 100% understood where you're coming from, but maybe you didn't have the exact word to like portray, you know, the point.
I was trying.
I
They
know.
wouldn't let me.
Yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't let me think.
Yeah, he kept interrupting.
Because he'd ask me a question and I'd be like, okay.
Honestly, that's maybe one of his skills. He's very good at like, arguing, you could say.
Like being a huge piece of crap.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, no, he's good at like poking and like.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came prepared because I bet he just debates all day. Like
That's all he does is he just makes fun of people and he just like makes mockeries and.
yeah. But
yeah.
I'm happy that you went against him, and he is one of like, I don't know if he's the final boss of degeneracy. He's the final boss right before you want to leave degeneracy and enter self-improvement. But I like that you went against him and you showed your point of view, which is right similar to my point of view.
Yeah.
And a lot of things. And this community who watches these videos, you took one for the team. You went there and you did your thing, and we appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
what's up.
so want to ask you then, at this moment right now, are you happy, would you say? But be honest, because every time I ask this question on the podcast, everyone's like, yeah, I'm happy. But be honest, are you happy right now? Is there a time you've been happier?
There is times I've been happier.
I know now you told me you're taking a break from YouTube and stuff. Does that have to do with your mental health?
Yeah, I'm kind of stepping away and giving myself time to relax. So it's not like mental health a little bit, but I'm just taking time for myself to be with myself and it's like going to the gym or going to a spa or relaxing on the beach, but longer. I'm just kind of taking time to relax and do my own thing. Am I happy? Yes, I'm very happy. Have I been happier? Yes, I have been happy. The only reason I'm not happier right now than how I used to be is because I was in a time where I was in the pursuit of really, really cool things and really exciting things were happening in my life. And that's just exciting. But once those seasons of life kind of move forward, you kind of dip back down and then come back up and go back down until 3 months down the line and something new happens.
Yeah.
So
Your baseline is now here. Like before, you were like not doing much exciting stuff, and then when it happened, like that time your baseline was here, but then Lamborghinis,
Yeah,
stuff, fast
exactly.
cars, and now you need the next.
going crazy on social media, doing this, doing that. So yeah, it was fun and I was happy then, but I'm at peace with myself and I'm still very happy and I like where I'm at. Genuinely, I really do. And I would say that I'm a happy person. I'm a very positive person, yeah.
I hear you talk about your business plans. It's very optimistic. Were you always like this optimistic?
I mean, yeah, I don't like expect things to go wrong. You just
Yeah.
kind of have to always hope for the best.
Right, but also sometimes it kind of leaves you like, you know what I mean, like disappointed, because you have expecting the best means like expectations, you know, and when you have high expectations, you can often feel disappointed.
True. Yeah, that
It's
happens.
a tough balance.
Yeah.
That's what I find struggling.
Yeah, it happens.
What I find as a struggle.
It's a mentality that people like us have, which is you always expect incredible things out of yourself, and if you don't do like the most amazing stuff, then you're like
Exactly.
you're lazy, like do better. It's a good thing because it drives you, but it's good to not let it take control.
Yeah. So what do you struggle with then?
What do I struggle with?
Be honest, Sebi.
That's an interesting question.
Sebi boy.
Can you be more specific? What do you in terms
Career-wise.
of what? In terms of business? In terms of money?
Let's do business and then let's do personal as well. Business first.
In terms of business, I think that I could be doing way more and working way harder. And yeah, I just think that I could. I think I could be working 5-6 hours more per day and just
How many hours are you
grinding.
working per day?
Probably like 4 to 5.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's low.
Yeah, so I could be working way more.
I'm sure you're doing more than that.
Maybe.
Look,
I
you're
mean,
doing this podcast right now.
I
it's
guess
like
this is
9 p.m.
technically considered work.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm sitting at home doing nothing. Like I'm always doing stuff that I need to do, but I'm just not like on my computer 10 hours a
Grinding,
day. Yeah.
In the office, like sitting down grinding.
I could always do more. But I don't. The thing is, it's like I struggle. I say that I struggle with that, but I like where I'm at. I like the pace I'm going at. I'm making a lot of money. I like this pace and I like the way I feel right now. So why would I change it? Like I'm good here.
You like your trajectory.
Yes, I like it. So I do struggle with that, but it's like at the same time I'm kind of okay with it. Personal life, I'm not going to talk about the personal life one. I just want to keep it personal. There's something I struggle with in my personal life, but I don't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no worries. Whatever.
sorry.
Huh?
Sorry.
No, it's okay, bro. I don't mind. You were talking about a time when you were happy. What about the saddest moment of your life?
The saddest, okay, so instantly my mind goes to when I was 19. I'd already made money. I had the GTR. And
Wow, you bought a GTR when you were 19?
Mhm.
Wow, nice.
I already had the GTR. So dude, I've had a lot of cars just all the friend. I've also had a 911, a Range Rover GTR,
Nice.
R8. I just bought the McLaren.
Nice.
Urus. What else have I had? I don't know. Anyway, when I was 19, I was dating this girl, and
You didn't mention the Urus.
the Urus. I did say Urus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Urus. I was dating this girl because I had grown up so messed up, so effed up in my childhood. Like I just had all sorts of problems, all sorts of like issues as a human being, and I was like toxically attached in this relationship that wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for either of us, but I was very like dependent on it.
Oh.
And we broke up and we got back together. We broke up, we got back together.
That's the worst.
And then like I remember there's just being a point where like we were together, but I didn't want to be with her, and I don't think she wanted to be with me either. But like we depended on each other. But at the same time, like in that relationship, I still felt super lonely and super sad, and I wasn't proud of who I was. I was like making less money than I used to. I had lost track of my health, and I wasn't healthy. I was smoking weed and like eating a bunch of junk food all the time, and I was just so sad. I felt like alone. I felt like I didn't have anyone.
Like a loser.
I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't like this person. I don't like who this person is. I don't like where you're at in life. I don't like what you look like. I don't like the relationship that you're in. I don't like what you do every single day. You're not proud of yourself. Like, and this was after I had already made some money. So I think this is a kind of a common thing when people make their first batch of money. They do like self-reflection, and they try to like figure out who they are. It's like, because if you never had a lot of money, you're always concerned with like, okay, I need to survive and I need to get money. But like, say somebody gives you 250K in your bank account and you can quit your job, and now you just sit at home and you're like, well, now I don't have to think about making money all day long. What can I think about? Like, who am I? What do I want? What do I care about? What do I value? And it's like, if you don't have answers to those questions, you kind of get lost. You kind of have like anxiety. You're like, I don't even know who I am or why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that was probably the point where I just made a little bit of money, and I was in a weird spot in life, and I was just trying to figure out who I was and et cetera. That's probably the worst. But I was also really sad when I was a kid. I was a very sad kid.
Really?
Yeah, because of all the crap that happened. So I was just always going through stuff, and I was just always sad. I had stomach problems. I had a lot of pain as a kid, like physical pain and
stuff.
Yeah. So that would probably, but saddest moment goes back to when I was like that age.
That phase in 19 years old?
Yeah, like 19,
How much
20.
money had you made at that point?
A few $100,000 already. Yeah.
Wow.
More. Yeah, more.
Wow.
I'd already,
probably
in terms of revenue, like over $1 million.
No, but like in terms of like
like a few $100,000. Definitely.
Nice. At 19, that's crazy.
I had done pretty well.
That money came from what?
Just I was drop shipping. I was doing YouTube. It was like those first couple side hustles. I even made some money with the car wash stuff. I mean, I even made some money there. I saved up. I was also flipping cars. I never mentioned that. I flipped cars and go-karts and stuff. So I made a couple thousand here and there.
Nice.
But
hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been a hustler, bro. I've always been a hustler.
Same, man. That's one thing I like whenever I meet hustlers. Bro, you know, we're cut from the same cloth. It's nice. So what does success look like to you 5 years from now?
Growth, I would say. As long as I'm growing in some way in my life, I would consider myself successful in 5 years if I was married and if I was in a great relationship.
10 kids. Have you talked about this 10-kid plan?
20 years. Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit.
You want to have 10 kids?
That's the 20-year plan. But as long as I'm doing that, I'm building my next 5 years from now. Like, I'm probably getting close to finishing up like my next bigger commercial real estate deal. Probably already sold one of the SaaS companies I'm involved with or working on. So
this is very interesting right now. A lot of people are talking about SaaS companies. You know, Iman Ghazi has Agency Flow, which is a very popular software company. I mean, in the space. And SaaS is like buzzword now. A lot of people are talking about it. Software as a service. So what's this? Have you already started a SaaS company, or are you starting?
So I'm involved in one. It's already a thing.
Okay.
I'm coming in, and there's another one that's already a thing that I'm gonna come in as well.
Two.
I can't tell you what they are, but I can tell you that I'm just working on those.
Nice.
And they're very cool.
Is that the next move? I think is that the next move that everyone, the next big?
I think for me it is. Is it gonna be like a trending thing like dropshipping?
It does seem like that sort of.
I don't think so, dude, because SaaS is
high barrier of entry.
Yeah. So you know, it's kind of tough because developers are not cheap.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more tough to get into. It's like level 2, but.
Level 2.
But yeah, I would say that's probably next season for me.
Okay, rate the hustles, the side hustles.
Rate them?
Top 5 side hustles for anyone watching this video who wants to get rich.
Well, I have to say dropshipping, because dropshipping is such a great one.
Great, yeah.
Dropshipping is
dead.
dope.
A lot of people is like dropshipping is dead.
Yeah, bro, I mean,
they always go through that phase.
So stupid, bro. There's a kid that he went through our free course. He's a 20-year-old kid in Arkansas. He sent me a screenshot yesterday of like, he's like at 12K a day, his second store.
Wow.
12K in a day. And he had to stop ads because he has a limit and he doesn't have a processor and he's on hold. And he texted me and I'm like, okay, here's processing. Connect you to my processor guy. Give me the account details make me store on the old store. I'm going to front you all of the money. I'm going to charge you 5% on all the money. I'm going to front you it now so it's not on hold anymore. I'll take some interest on it. I'm also going to give you an AMX with unlimited spend. Like, run this store to $1 million and I'll take a percent. So yeah, I gave him like tools and like a runway. I'm like, go, be free, fly like a bird. So I'm doing that with him now, but it's not dead, especially now with TikTok.
So
Like,
dropshipping is number 1?
I would say so. Like dropshipping, I would rate that pretty highly.
Number 2?
Side hustles, huh?
You wouldn't put Google Ads as second best?
Agencies are good. Yeah, like having a skill and selling your skill is also really, really good. So I would say that's number 2. Whether that's like on Twitter or on Fiverr or on Upwork or whatever.
Yeah. Also, question, why only Google Ads? Why not like do more forms of
Like what?
SEO? Everyone who does Google Ads usually does SEO as well.
We just wanted to be the best thing at one
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as
It's like
me.
this is what you get when you come here.
You should. I think it's good to be niche. Niches bring riches, they say.
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's like Elon Musk. You know the story. Like when he came out, the first Tesla, it was like a car that was only the Roadster, which was like super expensive, very hard to get, rare. And then after that got all the hype, he did the mass market one, which is, you know, like now the mass market ones, they're like super affordable compared to like like middle class, whatever.
Yeah, because those take more, yeah.
Yeah, Model Y, Model 3. So, but in the beginning, it's always best to be very niche and grow your small community. But what would you tell 19-year-old version of you if you had the chance?
Dude, so someone actually asked me this question today, but it was 18. The answer that I gave him
was that like in person or on a podcast?
In person, yeah.
Just for fun? Yeah,
it was a girl. She asked me. They were kind of doing an interview type thing, but she did ask me this question. The advice I would give to my 18-year-old self if I could go back would be that it would be this. It'd be, you are so much more powerful and capable of doing amazing and great things than you think you are. So don't let that limit you in any way. Because if I were to talk to my 18-year-old self, if we could meet, and I would look at me and be like, there's no way I can be that. There's no way. And that makes it slower for me to get to that point.
Belief.
Yeah. So it slows me down. So I would go to him and I'd be like, look, bro, I'm 24. This is what's up. And I'll be like, oh, I can do that. I'm like, yeah, you can actually do way more than this. Like, this is like, I'm lazy now. Like, you can do way more. And then I'd be like, my whole world would shatter. I'd be like, oh my God, like, I'm capable of all this. I didn't believe that I was. So that's what I would say to myself. And I would also say that to everyone watching, because everyone watching is capable of a lot more than they think they are.
True.
They limit themselves because society, it's normal to not do this. Everything is going against you. Everything is going against you. You need to just be a psychopath and like believe that you can do anything, and that will help you a lot.
Very good advice, actually, and very true as well.
So you understand because you've done it too.
Yeah, honestly. But it's interesting also because there's a small part of me that's thinking at the back of my mind, maybe this is a problem. Sometimes I feel like if I'm too nice with myself, I won't work as hard as I could. Or like if the younger version of you saw the 24-year-old version of you, would it make him slightly complacent in the sense where like he feels like, I can relax. I don't have to work this hard. I have all this potential. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I don't have to try as hard, or like, it's almost like I feel and maybe this is a wrong thought, but I feel like sometimes when I tell myself like, when I'm like very strict with myself in the sense where like I'm like kind of like trying to prove myself wrong, it kind of makes me work harder. You know what I mean?
I don't think it would make me complacent. I think it would inspire the hell out of me.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be like, damn, that's so sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, true. It's good.
You could go about it both ways.
Yeah, like if someone sees the 24-year-old version, you're like, okay, look, I'm gonna make it either way. Life is good.
Well,
I can relax now.
that wouldn't be implied. It'd be like, if you work really hard, if you work hard, like this is what you're capable of. But you're also capable of a lot more because you can just do it. Like I promise you.
But yeah, it's definitely true. You always think about it. Just seems so impossible to reach, and
until
society,
you reach it.
Until you reach it, and you're like, wow.
That actually wasn't even that hard.
Yeah.
That's literally.
But also, it's like you had to put in a lot of hard work, but it was very possible. It was extremely in your reach.
Yeah.
And we don't often realize how in our reach things are. And I see people making money from anything. Like I know people who make money from literally the most random things you can think of. It's not even about the idea, man. Like not even about this. Fuck the side hustle. It's not even about the side hustle. Just pick anything and just really put time and effort into it. You can make like crazy money from it. And yeah, it's just interesting. I remember even in the agencies once we got like really big opportunity. And I remember that being one of the most interesting days because I was like, you know, your whole life you're waiting for this big opportunity to make a lot of money. And then you find it. And then it's like, I realized how much work I had to do because I had this big opportunity, but I realized how much work it was going to be to do it. But everything was guaranteed. And this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. Like this kind of opportunity where it's like guaranteed money if you do this big task and it's very accomplishable, like realistically.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of work. And I was like, damn, like I told my mom, I was like, you know, most people who really want to be successful, even if they get the opportunity, I don't know how many of them would actually do it.
They don't. They think they want to be successful, but they don't want it bad enough. You have to really want it.
Really want it. Burning desire.
Yeah, because you will. That's the only thing that keeps you alive when you like just look like you fail, you fall face flat. That the only thing that will make you get back up and keep going forward is like how bad do you want it? Because if you're just like, okay, it'd be nice. As soon as you fall down, you're like, all right, F this. Same thing with Ethan. It's like, if the bigger the L, like it shows you who you are.
And it's also how bad he wants to get in shape. Like when you talk about getting in shape, like, yeah, I want to get in shape, but it's not, gym is not the most important thing. He said in the video. He said, yeah, what if the gym is not that important? Yeah, I can tell it's not that important for you. I can see. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just that's the difference. It's how badly do you want it?
Who inspires you?
You do, bro.
No, fuck you, bro. Don't flatter me, bro. Be honest. You don't even know me, brother.
A lot of people inspire me in different ways. People are inspiring in a lot of ways. So I don't look towards one person as like, this is like who I want to be like. But there's things I like about Jordan Peterson. There's things I like about Elon Musk.
I feel like he's my dad.
Yeah, literally the father that we've never had, or at least I've never had. There's things I like about my friend that lives downstairs. There's things I like about my mom. There's things I like about you.
Yeah.
So I kind of source inspiration from a lot of different areas, but there is not a single person on the planet that I want to be just like. I love who I am. I want to be just like me. So
It's actually interesting that you mentioned this. I had this conversation the other day with a friend. I was like, it's a dawning realization when you realize there's nobody on this planet that you'd rather be than yourself.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, it's crazy to me because like you could name me any person and I'd be like, no, actually, even though as a kid like I'd do anything to be that person. Now when I think about it, I'd rather be who I am right now than be that person. Like what am I? Oh, I'm gonna be Jeff Bezos and everything in life is boring for him. He's had everything, every moment of success or achievement has happened already, and he's bald and divorced and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't think of one person who I'd actively want to swap besides Sebastian Ghiroghiu.
Exactly,
No, I'm joking,
right?
but you know what I mean?
Besides the golden boy. No, yeah, exactly. And I think that if you do feel like that, it shows you that you love yourself and you're happy with who you become, you're proud of yourself. So yeah, it's good. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
Feels good, confident.
And I'm sure it is the same for most people. If they really, really, really think about it, it's probably the same for you guys as well. Because you could think about, let's say, even Cristiano Ronaldo, who is someone who I really wanted to be when I was a kid. But like now it's like, even like, let's say spirituality-wise, I don't know how spiritual he is. I don't know what's the chance of going to heaven. No, but you know what I mean? Like now he's playing for a club in Saudi Arabia. And like, he's reached the peak of his career. You want to go through that journey, you know what I mean? And that's where the fun is, the journey, not in the destination. You know this.
The best part is in the pursuit.
Exactly. There's this video of Kobe Bryant. Have you seen that? Those times when you wake up early and you work hard. Those times when you sleep late and you not seen the video? Is that those times when you wake up early, you work hard. Those times when you sleep late, you work hard. That is the dream.
I agree. I like that too.
Yeah. What do you think about Andrew Tate? You told me that you met him.
Yeah. I met him in London.
Does anybody know that?
I've said it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, people know that. I've said it on Ethan's thing too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him in London. He was nice to me. Andrew, I like Andrew.
Are you from Bucharest as well, Romania?
My father was. Okay. My mom was from Oradea. And Andrew has some qualities that I like and that men should emulate, and there are some things about him that I don't like as well. So the same thing like I told you, like I'm inspired by him in some ways and in others I'm not. So, but yeah, Andrew's really nice, and I think he's a net positive for men. I think although he's pretty brutal and he's pretty aggressive on the outside, I understand that because it's like the same thing with me. It's like you're going to be the most aggressive version of yourself on social media. You're going to be the most intelligent, most beautiful, most controversial version of yourself on social media. In person, it's more like relaxed and chill back and whatever. And
he understands that you don't go famous by saying the grass is green and the sky is blue. You have to say controversial shit.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, if people watch him and decide like, you know what, I do want to be powerful, I do want to have fast cars, and I do want to get a beautiful girl, and how does it start? By getting in the gym, okay, and then making some money, okay, that's a net positive.
Right.
So yeah, as long as these allegations are all false and everything clears up, and it's like and he never actually did anything wrong. If
you see the recent news that he got released on house arrest, it just shows
they don't have anything in the case files. They don't have nothing to charge him against.
Bro, you're from Romania. Don't you have any connections there to get him?
Bro, I wish. They're literally looking for something, but they just can't find it. So
yeah. Are you close with your dad, by the way, now at this point? Do you know him?
No, my dad is like a distant acquaintance to me. I'm not close with him, but I call him here and there. He asks how I'm doing. He doesn't know I have a McLaren. Like I don't like call him and tell him these things.
Does he know your financial status in general?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he probably knows I do well. He knows I do well. Like he knows. I don't know if he knows I'm a millionaire or not, but like I'm not gonna call him and tell him.
Dad, I'm a millionaire.
I don't know.
Do you resent him in any way?
No, I don't resent him. I just my father is just is a human being. He's my dad, and he did what he did.
So he
and
didn't leave on bad
no,
terms.
he didn't leave on good terms. What he did was not good.
Oh.
He shouldn't have done that. And I see what he did, and I know what not to do. I don't resent him. I've forgiven him already. He's his own person. He has his own family now, so that's fine. But yeah, I don't resent him. I don't think. No, I don't think so. He's just like a person, just like a human on the planet.
Do you plan on later like meeting him more often and stuff, or it's unlikely? Yeah.
Well, I see him about once a year right now. But if he were to move out to Arizona, I would hang out with him more. I'd be down. But I'm not gonna go out of my way.
Would you hire him? Why not?
I don't think so, dude. I don't think I would. I think he's getting kind of old, so he kind of is in his own flow in life, and I don't think I could use his skills in my business. He's a construction guy and a trucker, so he does that.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's happy though.
I hope so.
Basically, we covered most of the topics I really want to talk about. What's the worst financial advice you ever received growing up?
The worst financial advice.
Like that you thought like could be good, like you know what I mean, like not just.
Don't chase money. Money doesn't make you happy. That's the worst advice ever.
Really?
Yeah.
You think money buys happiness?
Money definitely makes you happier, for sure. Yeah. And there's a study.
I don't know.
It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
No, but wait, we were having a misunderstanding. But say the study.
There was a study back in the day, 2010. You've probably seen this thing where it's like, oh, money does buy happiness up to $70K a year, and then it flatlines.
Yeah.
Okay, so they redid this study where they took these apps and they had these data points that would randomly survey people throughout their day, and they had a lot of different people in the study from all sorts of income, and it found that not only does it not stop at 70, it linearly goes up to 500K, which is the top of where they did the study. So nobody was making more than 500K, but up to 500K, it was still going up linearly. And not only did people that were making more money have more positive emotions, they even had less negative ones. So the people that were making less had more negative and less positive. And as you went up the line, they had more positive and less negative. It was just inverse. People are just more happy if they make more money, all the way up to 500K. And they didn't test pass. So it's like, okay, so obviously there's a lie here. Like obviously something's fishy.
Bro, all I say is I've met too many people who had a lot of money who are very depressed, and I've met too many people who are broke that are happy. And also, like they say, we've all heard this quote: "Money doesn't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry in a Ferrari than cry in a Toyota." And I say maybe no, you'd probably rather cry in the Toyota, because at least when you're crying in the Toyota, you know the person sitting next to you is there for who like be there because
at least you have
like
something to look up for, like something like a goal.
And also whoever you're with
said that, yeah.
And no, also whoever you're with in the Toyota is there for you. Whereas in the Ferrari, everybody who you meet is like has their own agenda, will have their own ulterior motives behind knowing you. And like for me, I know for sure when I had less money, the people who are around me are probably more real. And by the way, it's you can show me as many facts as you want to, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. But also, in my opinion, I think the only problems that money solves are money problems. I've seen. Look at Elon Musk. They asked him, "Are you afraid of death?" And you know what he said? His exact words: "I think death would come as a relief to me." And that's the richest man in the world. So, I mean, you can show me studies of people who have 500K, and I'm not trying to like say that you're wrong, but I think that the study is a study, you know what I mean? It's not an opinion.
So
bro, you know
if you make 500K a year and you're extremely satisfied, I think that if you make 500 million a year, that doesn't continue. Like you're not gonna, there's that amount of happiness doesn't exist. That's not a thing. So yeah, like you said, money solves money problems, and those money problems can go up to 500K a year or plus or whatever that case may be. Like if you're making more money, you can be more generous, you can be yourself at a higher level, and maybe you can do things that would make you happier at a bigger level. Like if giving away $100 to someone makes you happy, then giving away $10,000, you could do that at a higher level, and that will make you happy again as well, and it's a bigger impact. Look, I know there's people that are billionaires that are unhappy,
super miserable.
Yeah, sure, that happens. There also are billionaires that are very happy, and there also are poor people that are miserable and unhappy. So when we talk about this,
so that makes it seem that the money does not correlate with the happiness. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, I think that it does in the beginning stages, from low-income families up to like multi-six figures. It does. I believe that it does. I believe, so if you're in a let's run a thought experiment. If you take like 1,000 random families in the world, and based on different incomes, and you give them more income, or like you put them in a position for them to make more money, so they did it themselves or whatever, I think those families generally would become more happier if they made more money. I think
someone could argue that would be because of the achievement. They felt that they're proud of themselves because they've made it.
Maybe it's because of the achievement. Maybe it's because of the freedom that,
because if you say you gave them money, then you look at the lottery winners, they all go broke.
Right, yeah. So that's why I'm saying like not giving them. So putting them in an opportunity to make money.
But if you put them in an opportunity, then maybe it's just because they have a passion and they have a purpose, and that must make them happy. happy. You know what I mean? They had that thing they ate today that they went
Sure.
to and
Or
they saw growth in, and
or maybe it buys them some sort of freedom to do something that they've always wanted to do but they couldn't do.
Yeah.
Maybe this dude just wants to draw and create art all day
I
and he
think what
can't
we're
do
coming
it.
to is very interesting, which is a point I think we can both agree on, which is that money doesn't change people, it reveals them, it exposes them, and like
Yeah.
how you just said right now, you can be a better version of yourself.
This is what we'll agree on. You're right. Money reveals, amplifies who you are.
Yeah.
You should not look for the actual money as a source of happiness. You should not think that you're going to be happy because you have $1 million in your account, because that's just a number on a screen.
Yeah.
That's not going to make you
Doesn't mean
happy.
anything.
It's a tool, but there are things associated with that money that you can use and leverage that money with that will source and
Like
fulfill you
traveling, yeah.
happiness. Traveling, buying your mom a Porsche, doing whatever. Like, there are things you could do with it. The number on the screen itself, objectively, is just some pixels on a screen. It's not going to make you happy. Maybe how you got it will make you happy. Maybe what you do with it will make you happy. So yeah, I think it's a complicated,
But you know, it's also interesting because
it's a complicated topic.
but it's complicated, but it's interesting. Like, I'm enjoying this because also now I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, money can give you the chance to be happy, like traveling and stuff. But when you are making money, we both know how much time do you really have to do those things which we thought we would do as soon as we made the money. Like, I know you're in a very lucky situation where you have things that can kind of run itself. And like obviously YouTube it sounds kind of passive because your videos are just passively making money for you for the rest of your life, the ones which you made in the past, and the affiliate links in their descriptions, and the agency runs itself. But you know what I mean? In the grind, when you're grinding and you're trying to make money, you start making money, you don't have time to do these things like traveling the world and like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. These guys, they're stuck. So they don't really have time to do the things which they thought they would do that should make them happy. So then sometimes that money makes them unhappy because it's taking a lot of their time.
I think that Jeff Bezos and Elon probably are just more like, they feel more of a drive to do those things that they are doing. Like if they were to go and travel and spend time on a beach, they'd be like, I'm wasting my time or something. Like they are probably more excited and more enjoyed or find more enjoyment working on their companies or like building a spaceship or whatever. And that's why they choose to spend time there.
Do you think that's the case, or do you think it's just because they feel a lot of weight on their shoulders, they have a lot of bills to pay, they have salaries, they have people's families that depend on them, and they
they have the ultimate choice. Like at the end of the day, Elon could sell the company to someone else, or he could close it down and he could take a few billion or whatever, how many billions, and do whatever he wants. He has that choice.
Yeah.
He can do that anytime.
But also sometimes I think, and I'm just completely just thinking out loud right now, but also sometimes I think that when you try so hard to make a lot of money, you kind of build this system inside your brain which doesn't allow you to ever switch it off, which is like this constant thought that you should be working right now. And I'm sure you can relate. Have you ever felt the feeling where like you should be enjoying a moment but you're just thinking about, I'm not working? You know that feeling? And the more you will continue to work, the harder it will become to leave that path, because the stronger that push will be to continue working. You know what I mean? That it's like a muscle. Every time that you wanted to chill, but you push yourself to work hard, which was good, it becomes so strong that you can never turn that thing off, and you can never relax in the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because you've just devoted yourself to that mission so hard and for so long that you can't do anything else ever again.
I used to struggle with that. I used to deal with
You know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah, but now I enjoy my relaxation times.
But maybe Elon Musk can't, because he's gone too far past that point.
Yeah,
Of no return.
He's too jacked.
He's not jacked. Actually, he's in horrible shape.
I'm saying like in using your muscle.
Yes,
term,
exactly.
He's Rich Piana.
He's too jacked.
You're never gonna go back.
He's at the point of no return, bro. You think he sleeps in his office, bro?
Yeah.
Imagine his house is probably 10 minutes away and he can't drive home to spend the night with his family, and he sleeps and you've seen the photo in his office of his bed. It's like a mattress on the floor, bro.
Yeah.
And he sleeps there, bro.
He's a psycho.
You know what I mean? But maybe that's because he can't do anything about it. Yeah, he can say like, yeah, I enjoy it, because he feels miserable doing anything else.
Yeah.
So it's not even that like he enjoys that, but he just feels worse doing something else.
True. That's a good, interesting way to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah, and I hope
Bring him on the podcast. See what he says.
You get him from me, Sebi.
I'll comment on his Twitter.
Yeah, bro, you're big. You can get him. You can make some calls for me.
All
We're
right.
connected like that, bro.
I know some people.
Yeah, this is yours. This is your country, bro. I don't know. You know anyone you want to meet in Dubai, in Middle East, I can get you. But honestly, this is just interesting. But I don't want to portray this kind of message that but it's just having this kind of thought experiment is interesting. If you're watching this video, set the most ambitious goals as you can, and seek that journey, because on that journey is when your whole life will, like all the happiness and stuff will come from that journey. So set the most ambitious goal you can, that'll take the longest time to achieve, and then embark on that journey and enjoy it, because that's the dream.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
That
Is
was
there any
very good.
notes you'd like to leave to end the podcast with?
Ooh, good question.
It's been a very interesting conversation.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Good. You traveled 17 hours for it, so I hope it was worth it. Any notes to leave? I don't know. I wish everyone the best of luck. I think that it's an incredible thing to be on this journey. Like, it's the human experience. It's the life experience. And the more you squeeze out of it, the better, in my opinion. So I've had a great time. I love it. It's so much fun, and I wish that everyone would actively work hard to pursue their dreams and do whatever they want to do and become the best version of themselves and be jacked and get rich and practice spirituality and have a great family and like do all these things, because it's dope. You can appreciate it and it's super sick. So I would just say good luck to everyone, and I hope you do it. I hope you kill it. I'm rooting for you guys, I would say.
Very nice message, Devon. Very wholesome. I wanted to take this clip and put it on there. Another white boy on a podcast. Did you see that video, by the way?
No.
You said you didn't see it?
No.
Man.
You gotta show me.
They did you dirty, bro.
That's okay. They don't know me.
They don't know you. I know you. I'll tell them. I'll tell them about the real Sebastian.
That's what's up.
Ghiroghiu, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
All right.
Sebastian Gorgeous.
Sounds good, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, leave a like, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. Check out Seb. All the social links will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.
Thank you, bro.
Peace. My G.
Let's go.